lot to talk about. Hi there, Carson Meredith with you on this Sunday night, just before 7:15. I'm 3 minutes ahead of schedule tonight, I guess. Uh, Lots to talk about as we head into this new work week. We've got a new alert date that is out. We talked last night. There was a very good chance we would have at least one. We've got one. I think there may need to be more as we get more confidence in when each round of storms will be rolling through for this upcoming work week. So I hope you are able to manage the heat and enjoy all this dry time that we had today and really throughout the entire weekend for many of you. Let's see, a lot of folks watching us tonight. Ann's here, Angela's here. Let's see, Cooler King is here. Weather Geek, cold watermelon worked wonders for a hot day, I bet. Adam, hello. Blue, hello. Shonda. Cody wished it stormed all weekend because of the heat. I'm with you. I don't like the heat either, but I'm glad it did not storm with this heat for a change on a weekend. Let's see. Sean's here. Usual crew. Good. Cool. So let's just jump into it. I'm going to be here for a little bit this evening, just trying to do my best to explain what we've got coming up. So if you're a fan of our 2 to 3 minute weathercasts on TV, this might not be your thing tonight because we're going to take our time explaining what lies ahead. Live look at downtown from Jeffersonville. It's been a nice looking day. It's been hot, yeah, obviously, but could be worse. 88's our current temperature. The high so far today officially is 89, so a little cooler than forecast. I don't think many people are going to complain about that. But a big reason why is we had that southwest wind kind of keeping things mixed up today. So that helped just a bit. Still plenty hot, though. Still plenty humid. We've got temperatures still across the board tonight in that mid to upper 80s range. 84 in Madison, LaGrange, Shelbyville, Lebanon. 86 in Campbellsville. Some birds hanging out on this camera behind me. 87 in Salem. 86 in Seymour. 82 in Paoli. Overnight tonight's fine. No issues at all. Mostly clear skies. Very, very muggy, though. It will feel like a sauna when you're heading out the door tomorrow morning. Whether it's taking the kids to school or going to work, it's going to feel soupy. And there could be some storm cluster mischief tomorrow morning. More on that in a second. 75 our forecast low tonight. All good. No issues at all overnight. Let's talk about the temperatures for tomorrow first, and then we'll just go right into the storm chances. So, temperature-wise tomorrow, this is really whether or not we see storms, period. We're heading for the low 90s probably. I got 92 for our forecast high. If we have storms, I might have to drop that down a little bit, or we may have to drop down those temps a little bit, but for now we'll say low 90s. Factor in the humidity, it could feel more like the mid to upper 90s instead tomorrow. So not an intensely hot day, but still plenty toasty out there. Tomorrow. Okay, here we go. Big picture view. We don't have a thing here. We haven't had anything in wave country all day. I kept a 10% chance in just to be super safe because always when it's hot and humid, you can never rule out a rogue pop-up. Didn't happen, so we're good there. You see the couple trouble spots tonight. A lot of showers and storms in the mountains across Virginia, North Carolina, into the Smokies and North Georgia. Mild stomping grounds. North Alabama's got a few flash flood warnings and severe thunderstorm warnings at the moment. None of that's an issue for us. This is our problem. This stalled out boundary that's been stuck over the Great Lakes out into the plains all weekend. We still expect this front to just hang around like that guy at your party that you really want to leave, but he doesn't want to leave, and he doesn't get it. He doesn't get the memo. That's going to be the story with this front throughout the week. It's going to get closer and closer and closer, but it's not going to move through. And because of that, we're going to have basically daily storm chances, especially starting Tuesday. That's when the really active stormy pattern takes over. But we may have some sneaky storms to contend with tomorrow. We hinted at that last night, and that is a possibility still. I'll explain why later. As far as tonight is concerned, you look across northern Indiana and northwest Ohio, got an MCS underway, a mesoscale convective system, i.e. storm cluster, and severe thunderstorm warnings across that entire little cluster. Just move through Fort Wayne, moving towards Toledo. If it holds on, it'll go towards Lima, Ohio, and maybe out towards Cleveland if it even holds strength beyond that into the evening. What we have to watch for tomorrow is going to be northern Illinois, near Chicago. Let's just say the Chicagoland metro. Models have been consistent at showing some kind of a storm cluster getting going in Chicagoland this evening. The million-dollar question that we still got to figure out is, where will that potential storm cluster go? Will it follow the trail of the one that's moving into Ohio now? Or is it going to drift a little further southeast into the better unstable air, getting closer to Indianapolis and potentially moving into wave country if it can hold that steam long enough? Those questions still need to be answered. But I mentioned last night there was that sneaky opportunity that's one of maybe two of those storm clusters could get into wave country late Monday morning into early Monday afternoon. And that chance is still there. It's not a guarantee, but the chance is still there. Let's start with the Monday severe weather risk, okay? So this is the map. Actually, this is the map for tonight. Slight risk up across the Great Lakes. First hot area is along the Indiana-Ohio border. But you see that slight risk also expands out to Chicagoland for anything that tries to get going this evening. So that's for tonight. No severe weather risk for us. We're all good overnight tonight. But how about Monday? Okay. Further east into Pennsylvania and West Virginia, but note the fringe of that slight risk does include just barely Jennings County, Indiana. But you do note that marginal risk, that level 1 risk, covers areas north of 64. This is mainly for anything that develops later in the day tomorrow. So what I'm trying to say is the storm potential we have midday Monday, it's kind of the wild card as it stands. It's not agreed upon by all the models that we're going to see this. It's not going to be anything insane, not looking at severe weather necessarily, but we could be looking at one or maybe two bursts of heavy rain and perhaps some non-severe wind. So here's Futurecast. This is our in-house computer model. This is for 6 a.m. Monday morning. And you note an initial storm cluster weakening as it potentially moves in to our southern Indiana counties near sunrise tomorrow morning. Not all models have this initial storm cluster at 6 a.m. Monday morning. So again, this is kind of the wild card, getting things going early here as we head into this messy week ahead. But the opportunity is going to be there for maybe some thunder and heavy rain early tomorrow morning in southern Indiana especially. So that's 6 a.m. Where there is a little more agreement with tomorrow's storms is later in the morning. This is 10 a.m. Yeah, we got to watch this. We got to watch this. If we get this storm cluster late tomorrow morning into the early afternoon, okay, it's going to be hotter. We're going to have more instability. Maybe there could be a little trouble. But, again, other versions of Futurecast that I don't have here tonight, that I don't have to show you, have this storm cluster late tomorrow morning, but it fizzles out as it moves into our area. So this is summertime MCS shenanigans. And I don't like it. Nobody likes it because it's so unpredictable where these things are going to go and when. So that's 10 a.m. tomorrow morning, according to this Futurecast model. That would give us an opportunity for very heavy rain, perhaps some gusty winds late tomorrow morning. I think the main window for storms tomorrow during the entire day would be 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. with any storm cluster action that can hold on long enough to move into our area. And I'm still not convinced it will. I'm not. I think a lot of you stay dry all day tomorrow. But numerous high-resolution models are picking up on this potential. There's noon. So if you notice, if we do have any storm clusters tomorrow, they would be moving through Louisville probably around 11. Thankfully, they're quick moving, so it'll be out of here closer to 1 or 2 o'clock across the entire region. And then the rest of the day's fine. And that's why we still think those highs will get into the low 90s, because we'll heat up really, really quickly once those storms move out, if they even get here. It'll feel like a sauna if we do have storms once they move out. So that's the story for tomorrow. I hope that makes sense. And if it didn't, I apologize. But again, tomorrow's kind of a weird wild card where you get these MCSs moving in before the angle, the right angle of attack for these to move in actually settles in, before the pattern is more favorable. So that's Monday. Again, there will be an opportunity for a cluster of storms to move in between 8 a.m. and 2 p.m. We still don't know whether these storms will be weakening as they move in, or, like this Futurecast model I'm showing you, they will be intense. They will be strong to where they could have gusty winds, very heavy rain. So for now, I got a 20% storm chance tomorrow for this, 8 a.m., 2 p.m. May have to go up to 30% or 40% as we look over more data this evening. So that's Monday, okay? Could we have an alert day tomorrow for this cluster of storms? Yes, we could. It just depends on whether or not those storms are still severe by the time they get here, okay? So that's Monday's storm chance. Now let's go to our new alert day for Tuesday. We told you there was probably going to be at least one, maybe two. Here's the first one. This is for Tuesday afternoon and evening. More so Tuesday evening. Same deal as what we were talking about with tomorrow. The big difference is we're a little more confident that if we see storm clusters Tuesday, they will be strong to severe. So that's why the alert day is now out. No specific time frame just yet for Tuesday afternoon and evening. Just know the later in the day we go on Tuesday, the higher that severe threat will become with these storm clusters moving in. Again, there's a higher confidence that we'll have strong to severe storms on Tuesday, damaging winds, heavy rain, flooding, the main concerns with any storm clusters we do see. Notice how I keep saying if we do see, if we do. Because it's still not a guarantee we see these storms on Tuesday. It's a very conditional setup once again. Here's the severe weather risk map for Tuesday. The slight risk was issued earlier this morning. The SPC expanded it earlier, or a couple of hours ago. And you see that slight risk includes basically Jasper to Bardstown, points north. So in that pink triangle I drew, that's where the slight risk is. The further north you are, the slightly better that severe weather threat is on Tuesday. But again, this is a conditional threat. It's not a guarantee, because we still aren't 100% confident that these storms on Tuesday will even move through our area. We're 100% confident we'll see storms nearby on Tuesday. We're just not totally sold that they'll move through our area. There's a chance these Tuesday storms could completely miss us. But if they do hit us, they will be strong to severe. So that's why the alert day is out. That's why the slight risk is now out for Tuesday. This is going to be a worst case scenario Futurecast that I'm about to show you, okay? Worst case scenario for Tuesday We jumped to Tuesday now. Quiet early Tuesday morning. No issues. Here comes potentially the first opportunity for strong storms Tuesday, late afternoon, after 4 p.m. especially. Once again, just like with tomorrow's storm chances, models are not sold on seeing a cluster of storms Tuesday afternoon. Some say yes, like this one. Some say no. We're just going to be hot Tuesday afternoon, all day. If we do see Tuesday afternoon storms, they will likely be strong to severe because they'll be in the hottest part of the day. So they'll be able to capitalize on all of that instability for these storms to be severe. So this is 4 o'clock Tuesday afternoon. There goes the first one. 6 p.m., maybe as early as 6 p.m., or 5 p.m. in Louisville. Again, this is not a guarantee. This may not even develop. This may not even develop Tuesday afternoon. But the risk is there. What I think we're a little more confident in is that we'll have an evening cluster of storms nearby, as you'll see here on Futurecast. And by evening, we mean late evening, into the overnight. This is 2 o'clock Wednesday morning. And you notice another, right on the heels of the first potential cluster, here comes another one, late Tuesday night, possibly into early Wednesday morning. Remember I said if. Remember I said worst case scenario with this version of Futurecast. Looking over some data right before I walked in here for this live stream, you notice kind of the angle of attack with this version of Futurecast has been right over us, right? Some of the newest data that's come in today has kept the storm track north and east across northeast Indiana into central Ohio. If that's the case, we may not even see a drop of rain on Tuesday. So it's all going to come down to how strong the heat dome or the ridge of high pressure is to our south and west, and how it affects that angle of attack of these storms as we get into Tuesday. You know, if we wind up seeing that main storm track across Ohio, again, we not only will we see not see a drop of rain, we won't see any severe weather, and it'll be really, really hot again on Tuesday. But there are some models, like the one I'm showing you here, that suggest we could see those clusters of storms move through our area, possibly Tuesday afternoon, more so Tuesday evening, late Tuesday evening. That's why the alert day's out. We get into Wednesday morning, could still be dealing with heavy rain, repetitive rounds of heavy rain, even if we're not dealing with damaging winds. So it's possible we have to extend the alert day into Wednesday morning for a flooding threat. We got to watch that. 7 a.m. Wednesday morning, heavy rain over the city, that would not be good. So for now, the alert day is exclusively for Tuesday afternoon and Tuesday evening for strong to severe storms. That alert day could get extended into Wednesday morning if the severe weather threat lasts longer, or if there is a heavy rain and flooding threat for the Wednesday morning commute. Okay? So that's Tuesday into early Wednesday. But wait, there's more. I'm stealing Brian's map for this. Hopefully he's not mad at me. You could tell where the band of strongest instability is. You could tell we are in a classic northwest flow pattern where all of these storms are just going to be diving in from the north and west. And we are eventually, by midweek, going to be right down the middle when it comes to where these storm clusters are going to go. So here's late Wednesday morning. This is the European model, so it's not the highest resolution, right? But Wednesday morning, 10 o'clock. Okay. Wednesday afternoon, Wednesday night. Maybe another one. Thursday. You get the idea? It's going to be over and over and over and over again, maybe through Friday. Now, why are there alert days for just Tuesday, but not Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday yet? Because we are still too far out to be assessing specific timelines or specific threats on any storm clusters towards the end of the week. Once we get a better idea of exact timing of each of those storm clusters and what kind of severe threats they may have, then you'll see more red flags go up potentially towards the end of the week. But obviously, you can tell the big picture view, this is going to be a very active setup heading into late week as well. And what hope we had of a cold front actually moving through here, it's not happening, guys. I've always said I'm skeptical of fronts moving through this time of year, and I don't see it happening. You notice next weekend might be more action to our north instead, but even so, we'll still have a ton of instability for, at minimum, scattered pop-up afternoon storms on any given day next weekend. So this is going to be a busy 7 or 8 days. Maybe that front tries to get down here by the 17th of August, so next Monday, maybe. But even then, I'm not sold on that. But another thing we'll have to keep in mind, and we touched on it briefly with the potential for an alert day Wednesday. If we do see 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 clusters of storms basically going over the same areas over and over again, we're going to have the risk for flooding. Not everybody. Not everybody. I'm not talking about anything like April of 2025. Nothing like that. But there could certainly be some flash flooding in a few spots, especially where this northwest flow zone sets up. And you could tell that areas north of the Ohio River were kind of split northwest, southeast in our area. So if you're in southern Indiana, if you're out towards LaGrange, Carrollton, Eminence, Newcastle, maybe down towards Lebanon, that's going to be kind of the access zone. Let me zoom in better. This might give you a better look. Notice how the further north and east you are, the higher your rainfall amounts are going to be, maybe closer to 2 to 4 inches of rain. Whereas the further south and west you go, like down towards maybe Litchfield and Mumfordville, your rainfall amounts are going to be lighter. I'll say an average 1 to 3 inches of rain across the board for now, with some higher amounts closer to 4 inches possible north and east of Louisville, up towards I-71. If you live along I-71, I should say. So the heavy rain and flooding threat is secondary to the wind threat. But again, if you're going to see 6, 7, 8 rounds of storms over the next week, yeah, obviously the rain's going to add up quick. So a mess of a week ahead, no doubt. And it's a very low confidence forecast, too, when it comes to where these storm clusters are going to go and when. For now, we keep a 20% storm chance tomorrow from 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. If we become more confident that we'll see storms in that 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. window, obviously that storm chance is going to go up for tomorrow. We may have to put an alert day out for tomorrow if it looks as though those storms not only will move in, but could be severe. We're not ready to go that far just yet. But that storm chance is there from about 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. Monday. Alert day for Tuesday, mainly Tuesday evening. Brian will have more specific timing details for you on the blog tomorrow. But I just, with the slight risk out, I wanted to get that alert day out so you guys can start thinking about it. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, same deal. Round after round after round of storms. The rainfall amounts will add up quickly, and depending on the timing of each of those storm clusters, we could have more severe storms to contend with. I do think we'll have a couple more alert days. I do. Which days? Hard to say. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, all candidates. Just depends on exact timing of the storms and what kind of instability they'll have to work with for wind. Next weekend, I'm hopeful the storm coverage will just be more the pop-up kind of deal. But we'll see, hopefully by the middle of the following week, the 18th, 19th of August, kind of see it there at the end, we can get a little break. Temperature-wise, the cool down is not looking as dramatic, mainly because the front is not going to be moving through like we hoped it would. But we'll be back down to the mid 80s, so that's not bad. That's pretty typical for this time of year. So, yeah, that's where we are, guys. That's where we are. Type 5, if that all made sense. If it was very confusing, I understand there's a lot of moving parts. So if you have any questions, concerns, critiques, fire away. Just be nice. Don't use bad words. Let's see what we got. Just got out of the water park. There you go. It was a good day for it, no doubt. Hi, Allison. First sinus infection ever had in August. I've had those. I've had them. It's usually when the ragweed is creeping in. And it is. It's not a ton, but that ragweed pollen's starting to creep in just a tiny bit. And if I've ever had an August sinus infection, that's why. So that might be what you're dealing with, Allison. Not sure, but... hey, Gary. Good to see you up there in Pewee Valley. Jasmine, thank you for watching. We appreciate it. Hi, Tina, down in Campbellsville. Hope all's well. Judy, Melanie, Ashley, hello, hello, hello. Pool was packed today, I believe it. Hi, Laura. Got the yard taken care of today. Good call, especially with all this rain coming in this week. Stephanie's ready for fall. So am I. I got everybody all riled up, posting, asking whether or not you guys were ready for fall on our social media pages earlier today. So, yeah, I'm ready. 44 days. 44 days. Hi, Kaylee. Can't do any more tornadoes. Yeah, I understand. It's been a very unusually active summer for tornadoes around here. The tornado threat throughout the entire week is very low, okay? This is not going to be like Hart County and Grayson County a couple weeks ago, or back at the end of July. It's not going to be like that. Yeah, with these storm clusters, you usually don't have to worry too much about tornadoes. It's usually just a wall of straight line wind, which could still cause trouble, obviously. But the tornado threat all week, be it the alert day on Tuesday or any other alert days that may come out this week, is low. So take comfort in that. Hi, Brittany. Jeffersonville, potential for a few storms between 8 a.m. and 2 p.m. tomorrow. Not a big potential right now, but it's there. And then the alert day for Tuesday is mainly for the evening. May have storms in the afternoon, but I think it's going to be more Tuesday evening, late Tuesday evening, when a few stronger storms could move in. Let's see. Yeah, here we go again. You're right, Adam. Severe chance Wednesday. We are not in a risk for severe weather right now for Wednesday, so that's good. But I'm a little concerned about heavy rain Wednesday morning, especially. We'll have to watch that. Yeah, it was definitely art class tonight with those maps. It's a crazy setup to explain. So sometimes you got to do some crazy drawings on those maps for sure, Adam. Right? Cameron, I haven't even looked at September yet. That is definitely that's definitely a Brian question because I have not looked at that yet, for sure. Hi, Sandra. Thanks for watching over in Shelbyville. We appreciate it. Couldn't agree more, Sheila. I am over it too. Completely over it. Hey, I can read people's minds, I guess, Adam. That's terrifying, but glad we answered your question. Good question here, Chris. Are we worried about hail? Not really. You might get some peas or dime-size hail, but as far as quarters or golf balls, I don't see that at this point. I do not. I think if we see severe storms this week, it's going to be wind, mainly. It's going to be wind and heavy rain. Not a huge hail threat, thankfully. Not a huge tornado threat, thankfully. Yes, Tim, I am absolutely ready for fall. That is for sure. Hi, Kirsten. Worst case scenario, what does the tornado probability look like? It would be less than 2%. That's how low it is, okay? That means there's at least a 98% chance we don't see a tornado this week. Very low risk. The hail risk is very low. It's mainly the wind. Mainly the wind and mainly the heavy rain that we'll have to watch. All right, I see a lot of fives. Good, good, good. Good, good, good. Awesome, awesome. Square root of 25. Yes, yes, yes. Let's see. Dog is over thunderstorms. Yeah, I bet. I bet. Everybody's wondering where my tie is. We didn't have our 6 o'clock newscast tonight. We are currently airing gymnastics on Wave. At least the network is. So we did not have our 6 o'clock news tonight. But the tie will be on at 11. The tie will be on at 11. I hope so, Gary. Potentially 2 weekends of tame weather. Had this one next weekend. I'm not ready to say it's going to be calm yet. I think I'll have to be dealing with some storms, some kind of storms. But one can hope. One can hope. That is true, Allison. I am very much ready to go home. I am ready for midnight when our newscast ends, and I can go home and I can have a very late dinner and I can go to sleep. I am looking forward to it. Hey, David, what's the chance rain chances drop around Mount Vernon on Friday? The odds of the rain chances dropping are low right now for Friday. I think it's going to be a mess. 5 days away, so don't cancel anything you guys have going on over there. Don't cancel yet. But in my opinion, the wettest days will likely be Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Is it going to rain every single second those 3 days? No. But when it does, it will be very heavy rain, and there could be some gusty winds too. So I know that's not the news you wanted to hear, David, but yeah, I'm not feeling too great about Friday at this point. Yeah, the cool shot's gone, Adam. It's gone. I mean, okay, technically, right? 92 tomorrow down to 86, 87. Yippee, right? The cool shot's just not there. It's not. I wish it was, but at least for next weekend, the following week, I just don't see it. Typical temperatures, yeah, mid upper 80s. That's normal for this time of year. But 70s or anything like that, no, it's not there. Yes, enough of the storms, says Tanya. I agree completely. Favorite season is fall. That's why I posted that on our socials today. Get everybody riled up. Can't wait. I'm ready for fall. Any lows in the 60s? Jeremy asked for the rest of August. Yeah, there will be some. It'll probably be like 65 to 69 degrees. It won't be like 60 or 61. But mid 60s, maybe towards just outside the 10-day for sure, especially if you live outside the city. We'll have a few lows in the 60s. Anything else? Angela, pulse storms Tuesday and Wednesday. I don't see necessarily pulse storms, or at least a ton of them. I think it's going to be those big clusters that just roll right through. Tuesday through Friday. More of the pulse stuff will probably be next weekend, it looks like. Yes, there are a couple of systems the Hurricane Center is watching in the tropics now. I haven't been able to update the tropical graphics. I apologize. But there are two disturbances that the National Hurricane Center is watching off the coast of Africa. One of them has a 50-50 shot of becoming a 50-50 chance of development, I should say. One has a 20% chance. So pretty also typical to get waves off the African coast to develop in mid-August. So that's right on par for the tropical season. But neither of those systems are anywhere close to land right now, so we're not going to worry about it just yet. All right, what do we got? Yeah, again, the tornado potential Tuesday and any day this week is very low, okay? Please take comfort in that. I'm talking 2% chance or less. Very, very small tornado chance this week. That's a Brian question, Scott. I like to focus on the next 2 weeks. I kind of block out anything beyond that, just for my sake. But that's definitely a Brian question. Remember, the winter forecast will be out on Halloween night, as it always is. All right, few more. Sneak peek of fair weather. I think at least for the first weekend of the fair, you're going to see mid-upper 80s. I do think that, temperature-wise. I don't see, at least for the first weekend of the fair, I don't see extreme heat or, mid-upper 90s, triple-digit heat index. I don't see that for the first weekend of the fair. Pretty typical. Yeah, Braden. Yeah, we're heading into a super El Nino, of course. Brian spent a lot of time talking about that on Thursday, I think. But yeah, not nearly as active. We've only had 2 named systems so far this year. Yeah, Daniel. The alert day for Tuesday is mainly a wind issue in the evening. Tuesday morning looks fine. Most of Tuesday afternoon looks good. Could be a few storms moving in after 4 p.m. Tuesday, but I think it's late Tuesday evening when things will get busy. If they do. Again, that's the crazy thing right now, guys, is we know these storm clusters are going to develop. We just don't know where the heck they're going to go. They may go up into Ohio as opposed to down here. But there's enough models that say the potential is there for storms to move through here on Tuesday. We've got the slight risk in place. So worst case scenario, we have the alert day out for Tuesday and we can get rid of it. We've heard through research that you guys would rather see an alert day on our 10-day, remember it, prep for it, and then we say, actually, we're okay, versus not having an alert day and then things go haywire and you didn't expect it. You were caught off guard. You'd rather see the red and then see the red go away than not see the red and something happens. So that's where we are at this point. All right. I hope that all made sense. This is going to be a busy week. So get your rain gear ready at minimum. Get your rain gear ready. Again, we'll have an update on all of this tonight following baseball on Wave News. Whenever baseball ends tonight, we will have our newscast at hopefully 11, probably later. So if you're still up by then, we'll have an updated look at the 10-day. We'll have an updated look at tomorrow's storm chances, if we've had to bump them up or not. And, of course, we'll have another breakdown of the alert day for Tuesday as well. Appreciate you guys watching as always, even on a quiet weekend. Thankfully, we finally had a quieter weekend at long last. Again, we'll be back on tonight after Sunday Night Baseball on Wave. If you're still up, we invite you to tune in. And Brian will be back with Storm Talk tomorrow. And Storm Talk is going to be busy as we head into this new week. Thanks for watching, guys. You'll see me again tonight either after baseball or next weekend here on Wave. Thanks for watching. Take care.